Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Spin Less, Scrap More this time around. I believe this is episode 3, and I am using this sketch that is a page map sketch from the recent December 2020 page map sketches. This one, if you saw it, you can go back and pause the video if you want to take a closer look, or you can find the sketch at pagemaps.com. But it was perfect for this photo and this collection because I wanted a single photo layout. I wanted some room to do some journaling. The only difference is if you saw, so on the sketch, there's like a main part, like a main section in the middle. So I cut down my white cardstock to be, I think 10 by 10. So there's 1 inch on each side. And then I am going to end up trimming my photo down just a hair from 4 by 6 because, or actually, no, I don't. I don't know if I do. Let's find out. But I was looking on the layout. I was thinking I was going to layer it with this, that candy cane paper again, which I think I end up only using the card side, the opposite side of this candy cane stripe paper, for one layout so far. Anyways, on this sketch, on that 10 by 10 white cardstock or whatever you end up deciding to use for if you use this sketch, they have elements going across the top, like a thicker strip, and then like a little scallop border. I'm going to end up putting mine on the bottom. I just feel like that way I should break out of my norm box, but I feel like it would make it top heavy. But one of these days I should try it because it really does. I think it really could look cute. But this time around, I went for the bottom. And I am trimming up. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I used my scallop punch on that candy cane paper. So it's not long enough to span the full 12 inches. So you're going to see I'm going to actually make that work here in a few minutes. So I did get that paper. I think, what is this, the 3rd layout by now? And I'm going to get another layout done with this collection. I have plenty left. It was more that I was kind of running out of stickers after this. And you'll see, anyways, you'll see that in the next video. So I'm gluing this down. If you are new to my channel, I like to use Scrappy tape to glue layouts down on the background piece. If I'm matting it with a 1/4 inch mat or, an inch mat like I am here. It's super easy because then you can tell all I have to do is take the adhesive off of one section of the Scrappy tape, and then I lay it down, and then I can lift up the paper and put the other sections or take off the opposite adhesive side. And then it just makes it a lot easier to glue down straight, because if I use my ATG, it just goes crooked and everywhere. So I had originally cut that black pattern paper to go down below. It's the opposite side of this striped one. But so here's where I'm like, I didn't like it. I think that's too many stripes. The black was too heavy. I don't know. It was just too, look at me. It was, and that strip barely stood out on that. And I didn't have any more strips of paper that was the right direction. So I'm going to give this a try. So I'm cutting this paper to 2-inch strips, and I didn't cut it. Oh, did I do it 3 times? It doesn't look, oh, I did. So what I ended up doing was taking it, and I think I trimmed off the edges because it was cut, whatever I cut it last with just was not super sharp. And I'm going to butt those 3 papers up together. Now, when I do this, it does not look like one solid. I mean, if you really were to search this out, the ho-ho-hos are not together. But I do make sure to ink just the top and bottom on the middle piece, and the left-hand side on the left piece, and the right-hand side on the right piece. And that makes a big difference. So because of the pattern on this paper being kind of crazy and chaotic, you don't really notice unless you're specifically looking right at that spot. And, so you can see here, and also the still shot photo in the end. I had actually just pulled this layout out to do the voiceover, so it's right here next to me. And I completely forgot that I had even done that. So I'm also going to do the same thing with the candy cane paper. That's what I started to mention a little while ago, because you can see I wanted my piece, I think it says also on the sketch to have that like banner, not banner piece, the scallop piece to go all the way from the left to the right, which I don't always feel like I have to follow the sketch. I just really like that look. And so I'm going to do the same thing with that candy cane paper. Before, what I was originally thinking was that that candy cane piece would go all the way behind my photo so I could just cut it to make it fit there. But I didn't like the way that it looked hiding completely behind the photo. So again, what I do with this one to kind of help this a little bit more, I decided to trim off both pieces so that the stripes almost, I think I cut it a little bit wrong, but the stripes almost line up completely with each other. So you can see there when I try it out on the paper, I didn't want to put one over the other one, which I don't know if it really would have made that big of a difference, but I wanted to have them butt up against each other. So you'll see here in just a moment that I'm going to end up cutting the one on the left, and I measure where I want it by the stripes on the one on the right. Now, if I look at the layout again, I can see where this part comes together, but I'm okay with that. So here's kind of where you can see what I mean. I'm taking the stripes and lining them up. Now, if I would have been a little bit more careful, I could have lined them up even easier, but I just kind of cut. I don't know. I just went for it. So now I'm going to put down the other piece, and I'm still inking my edges with my gray close to my heart ink. I feel like it gives it just enough to help everything stand out, but not as much as black would. So you can see how the lines line up almost perfectly there, and I think I moved it right as I glued it down. So like I said, you in the photos at the end, if you really want to see how obvious it is, you can keep an eye out for that, but I'm quite happy with how it turned out either way. So I am trying to find now another matte. I didn't want to do just the black. I like that black pattern. It seemed so heavy on this page, maybe. I don't really know how to word it, really, I guess. But I wanted more red, maybe to bring out more of the red from the papers. But either way, I do decide to go ahead and mount it on just a tiny piece of this red pattern paper. And you can barely see any of the pattern behind it. And what you do see is not like a piece of the deer head or whatever. It's too small to even notice what anything is. So I think that really helped double matting the photos. It just brings a little bit more interest into the page. So I'm going to glue that down, and you can see how it looks better not completely covering that scallop piece. I'm really glad that I didn't do that. Now, while I was doing this layout, one of the reasons I picked this sketch is because if you saw the sketch in the beginning, it had like a snowman and a snowflake. And if you saw my intro video, you know I mentioned how cute these snowmen were and how much I really wanted to use them. This page turns out perfect with them. So I have the snowman on the left-hand side, and he's kind of looking at the photo. And then I remembered this strip, and I was actually thinking that this was going to be my last layout, that I was going to get done with this because the sticker sheet's almost used up. Or at least it is by the end of this video, and I didn't have a whole lot of stuff yet, but I actually get one more out, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, so before I was finished with this series, I wanted to make sure to use that scallop bow border, and it's so cute. I love that, and it went perfectly. I just trimmed it down in case I used it some more. And I'm going to pop up the snowmen. I'm going to use both snowmen stickers, and I'm not really adhering everything down yet, which usually it doesn't take me long before I start gluing things down into clusters. I noticed when I was using this kit that it was taking me a little bit longer and to make decisions on gluing down where I wanted everything in the clusters. But that's okay. It just took a little bit more time, and I'm fine with that. So I'm adding foam adhesive behind this snowman as well, and he's going to go over here. So in the still shot photos at the end, you will not, I don't have my journaling on there. I wanted to get these layouts up for you guys, so I didn't take the time to do my journaling. But we don't get snow here very often, so I really like this picture. I mean, gosh, this must be 2000, early 2000s, or yeah, some like between 2005, 2010 or something. So there was that sticker with the plant on it, and it looked really cute tucked behind that snowman. And then I pulled this hat off the sticker sheet. I didn't know how much I was going to like it, but I tried it on the corner of the photo, and it looked kind of cute, but it was too close to the snowman. So when I tucked it up here, I'm actually going to tuck, if I haven't put it pasted it all the way down yet, that very right hand side of the hat, I'm going to tuck underneath the white cardstock to make it look like it's kind of coming out from that cardstock. So I really like how that looks there, and it just makes for a great third cluster area. So playing with the stickers, trying to get more used up, I wanted to bring some more red around, so I added that red circle over by the snowman on the right. I don't think it's completely glued down at this point. I wanted to use up the word stickers, so I put a couple up in this area. I think that I was thinking the whole time I was going to put my title up there, which I do end up putting up there, but I was also trying to think what I wanted my title to be, because I don't know, what would you say? I don't know. I like my title and how it came out, but at this point I really wasn't sure. So again, I'm pulling out more of those snowflakes. I mentioned that I got them all used up, so this was just another perfect one to use it on. And these are the sparkly ones. I think at this point, maybe all of the other ones are used up. I can't really remember. But what I do for these ones is I just put a piece of, like, I use a glue dot. I don't use the brads for these ones this time around. And most of them, where the glue dot is they are being tucked underneath this other stuff. So I'm going to tuck one you saw behind the snowman on the left, over here on the right, kind of underneath the snowman a little bit, and that red circle snowflake. And then I'm going to tuck one, or at least half of one, behind the plant on the right-hand side. And then at the top, I'm going to take the scraps, or cut this one in half. I don't remember, but I take the scraps and make it look like there's a snowflake coming from the top part here where I'm working on right now. And also I'm going to add one on the left-hand side behind the hat, just because it looked too weird. I couldn't find a good spot to have it up here in this cluster without it being too obvious. It definitely needed two of them, I feel like. So I'm just gluing those down. Again, I'm using glue dots in the spots where they are going to be hidden. I'm looking at this page now. Yep, okay, I was just checking to make sure I didn't add anything else. A lot of times if I have a glue dot that is showing, that you can see, I will put like a Nuvo drop or an enamel dot over it, or like the other layout, I use brads. So I was just checking to make sure I didn't do any of those. Also, I am adding, there you can see I'm still playing with this tiny little piece. Like I said, I used up every last bit of these snowflakes, other than the tiny little pieces that I ended up cutting them off where they went off of the layout. So this one is where it's going to go behind the plant. And then I found that one up on the left over there underneath the hat that I mentioned as well. And that went perfectly there. It like finished off that area for something. I'm not completely done with that cluster, but it made it look more finished with the two snowflakes. Anyways, what else am I doing here? And if I have those snowflakes, I wasn't afraid to have them go off of the layout at all. I don't know how much they went off of the layout. I think that one at the top went off just a hair, and I just trimmed it up. I just chopped it off. You don't even really notice. They are so like clear. They're very subtle on there. You can see that as well at the still shot photos at the end. Now, the whole time I'm doing this, I know already that I'm going to do my journaling between the snowman and the photo. I was thinking originally that I would be doing journaling strips, but I think I might just write my journaling because it'll help pick up all the black, and I'll use a black pen. I think it will be okay. So like I said, I'm sorry I don't have the journaling done, but I wanted to get these videos up. And then because I also thought that this might be my last layout, I took these boots, and these boots are nothing that I would ever use on a layout. I mean, maybe you could make those really cute. It's just not really my style. So what I did was I took my heart punch and punched out some of the red part of the boots. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because I have that red snowflake sticker that's by the right snowman, and it really stands out the fact that there's no, I mean, there is a little bit of red in the other clusters, but not as much. So when I decided to go ahead and punch them out, I do add a heart into the other two clusters. So it kind of is like bringing a red sticker over to that side as well. The other thing that I'm really going to kind of struggle with here is I wanted to, again, use up some of these wood veneer snowflakes. And I really like where they are in those clusters right now. I really like them. But the problem was I could not get one to look right at all up there in my in the top cluster. And so I decided to look at more of my wood veneer. This is all my Christmas wood veneer. I have Christmas and winter wood veneer in this drawer. So I found this burr sticker, or not sticker, sorry, wood veneer. And it, like, I felt like it was a good title because, I mean, if you look at the house, everything I want to say about the photo will be in my journaling. It fits in that spot between the stickers and the photo just about perfectly, and it brings the wood veneer around. So I went ahead and added the wood veneer into each of the clusters. And that is pretty much the last thing I'm going to do, or two more things. I do add some more of those stickers that you might have seen in the last video. So I added some of those, just the snowflakes around, and I do put a couple birds in the hands of the snowman from that sticker sheet. Also a couple of the peppermints around the page. And then I took my white Nuvo drops and made little white drops all around in each of the clusters so that it was kind of mimicking snowfall. So you will see that, probably be able to see it best in the first still shot photo. Here you can see those snowflake stickers and the bird in the snowman's hand and the white Nuvo drops. And I really like the finishing touch of the white Nuvo drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and I have one more layout with this collection, and that will be all. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.